What is going on, guys? This is another episode here of Shoot Your Shot. I'm your host, Napoleon Anicetti.
Valiant Rouser.
Your boy, Alex Anicetti.
And today, guys, we got a special guest, right? In my opinion, one of the beginning leaders of gyms and youth organizations in Las Vegas. I remember I heard about this organization when I was, in high school. I was, a little over 13 years ago.
Right.
The leader, Mr. Phase One, Mike Waters. Everybody give him a
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm excited, man. I'm happy to be here, man. So I appreciate the invite, man. Looking forward to this.
Absolutely. Man, for real, I've heard about your program for forever.
Yep.
So talk a little bit about what has been the progression of Phase One, where it started.
Yeah.
I was talking to PT here a little bit, and he was talking about how you started training at parks, and that was kind of where we came from. We started in a garage, and
Nice.
COVID happened, and we took advantage of being able to give kids an opportunity that at that time was completely shut down.
Yeah.
So talk to us about Phase One, the progression of it, where it started from, and where it's going.
No doubt. So I'm gonna give you a short backstory, right?
Okay.
So the backstory is, I played football. That was my sport. Fell in love with it at 7, 8 years old. I'm like, this is it. This is all I want to do.
I'm going to the NFL.
NFL or bust. You know what I mean? At 7, I made a life decision. But fast forward, high school, senior year came. I was doing pretty well, led the area in rushing, played running back, did a lot of cool stuff on the football field. Had 2 scholarship offers. So I'm like, it's go time.
Okay.
Realized in the worst moment possible that I wasn't qualified academically. GPA was only a 2.2 because I didn't understand the sliding scale back then, the SAT, you got to have this score. I didn't understand that.
Right.
I just knew 2.0, I'm eligible Friday night.
Nobody was telling you that.
No one was saying, hey, if you want a scholarship, you got to get this. Because think about it. I had to take the SAT 3 times because I needed a higher score and I never hit it. So it would have been way easier if somebody would have grabbed me in 10th grade and said, the higher your GPA is, you don't have to worry about that SAT your senior year.
Right.
Our teachers loved us. It would have been so easy to turn those C's into B's and do the thing, but I didn't know. You know what I mean? And, still to this day, the first one in my family to go to college, actually my niece goes now, so I guess I'm not the only, but first to go to college. So the reason I say that is because I went through that experience, had the multiple scholarship offers, could not sign. Heartbreaking. It was like life was over.
Yeah.
I've been playing football from 7 now to 17. So this is the longest relationship ever. And now in my eyes, it was over.
Right.
So now I spent a year just on some BS, honestly. It was the first time I had never smoked weed, none of that before. Now that year, I'm like, let me try it.
Why
You know what I mean? I just
sure,
felt like there was nothing left.
Right.
And where I grew up at, neighborhoods a little rough, Southern California, grew up in Monrovia. Okay. We had gang injunctions in our city, all kind of craziness. So it was pretty wild.
Right.
So luckily, about a year after all this happened, it just hit me, bro. I was just like, I want to play football still. Like I miss it.
Right.
You just kind of like,
Something's missing.
Right,
something's gone.
And I'm looking, nobody doing nothing. The homies, it's chilling. It's just nothing.
Same old shit.
Same stuff.
Right,
I'm just like, okay. So I hit one of my coaches. He like, you got to go to a junior college. I'm like, bet. So I looked it up. I said, what's the best junior college in Southern California? It was Mount Sac. Still one of the most dominant football programs.
Yep.
So shout out to my Sat Dogs. Actually, Antonio Pierce, the head coach of the Raiders, was actually one of my teammates.
Oh,
at Mount
that's
Sac.
badass.
Yeah.
Now you're in the same city.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
sick.
Ironic, right? So I went to Mount Sac, played 2 years, transferred to UNLV, accomplished my goal of playing Division I football.
That's badass.
So the reason that story is important is because along that path, by the time I got done at UNLV, it became very clear what football did for me.
Right.
You know what I mean? And just to give you a little snapshot, by the time I got done at UNLV, my oldest brother, who was like my mentor, the one I looked up to and everything, he's actually the one that taught me about football and everything.
Right.
At that point, he was strung out on crack cocaine, had lost everything. I mean, just strung out, gone. My younger brother was in and out of jail, just going through some different stuff and gang and just kind of, lost in a sense.
Right.
My nephew had just got arrested for multiple counts of armed robbery. They gave him a 14-year sentence. Dang. My best friend, whose name is Mike like mine, I was Mike, he was Mikey, best friend, and went to jail as well, and they gave him 18 years. All this happened in that little window of time. In that little window of time.
Damn.
And I started looking in the mirror going, damn, how did I get here?
Right.
And the only thing I could equate it to was football.
Football, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because I didn't like school.
Yeah.
I was never like, can't wait to get a degree. Never in my life.
right.
To this day, I've not said that. You know what I mean? It was like, I just want to play ball.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I had that thought, it became clear the impact that it had on me. And so my brain was very simple. You're talking 25 years old. I said, how many young athletes, especially young minority, young black kids, young Spanish kids that are in these lower income areas that love their sport, if we can channel that and teach them how to utilize it, train, prepare, we're not only making them better athletes, making them better people.
For sure.
Because by the time I got done at UNLV, football was over. The NFL didn't come knocking. I didn't have crazy stats at UNLV, none of that.
Yeah.
So I knew football was done, but I was prepared for life.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? My experience were different. I met teammates whose parents have cabins and we're out on the boat at Lake Mead. This stuff that I would never have access to, now I do, and it opened your mind.
For sure.
So I was like, I got to give this to them.
Yeah.
And so that's why I started
dope.
phase one. That's actually why I named it phase one, because it's the beginning, like phase one.
Yeah.
This is the first phase of your life. Let me help mold you, guide you. And then one day you're going to wake up and realize it never was about football, baseball, or basketball. It was about life.
Damn,
That's
bro.
I love that.
That's
so
amazing.
And that
that's
was
empowering too.
21 years ago.
Super
Still
empowering.
at it.
And
Yeah.
That's
who was the first core group of phase one athletes
Actually-
that you remember? Like you were like, yo, these were my
Like the OGs.
These were, these
Yeah.
were my. These were my.
Man.
Like my babies right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. So it's a few, and I'll tell you, it's ironic. Last night I actually ran into one of them. His name is Reese Perkins.
Okay.
They call him Perk is what he go by.
Yeah.
He's a basketball coach at Rancho.
Okay.
Right now. I forgot what year he came out. May have been 06, 08, somewhere in that window. One of my earlier groups.
Yeah.
Okay.
And literally, best feeling ever was yesterday, him basically reflecting and going, you in phase one changed my life, period.
That's awesome.
And he's like, it's the reason why I'm a coach today, because I want to give back to young people and kids just like you did for me.
Right.
And it was just cool to hear that 15 years later or whatever it is.
Right.
So, Perk, Brandon Marshall, everyone know Brandon Marshall,
Yeah.
Super Bowl champ,
Yeah,
Broncos.
right, yeah.
Brandon came to me. He was, 14, 15 years old.
Oh, okay.
Damn, that's so bad.
No scholarship offers. No, he was just a kid that wanted to work hard.
Where did he play at?
He was at Cimarron.
He was at Cimarron.
Cimarron High School.
Oh, I didn't know he was at
I didn't know
Cimarron.
that
Yep, he's Cimarron. He played running back and linebacker. I'm gonna tell you like this, and he's heard me say this before, so he won't be too mad.
Yeah.
When he walked in, nobody in the building said NFL.
Right.
Nobody, some kids, you're
Yeah.
like, whoa, this dude.
Yeah, he might got,
He got that. He gonna make it. Brandon, we gonna see what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Literally, and fast forward, what I noticed immediately about B. Marsh is his work ethic.
Yeah.
It was like, if we're training at 5, he's there at 4:15, 4:30. He's stretching. He's doing little stuff. Hey, Coach Mike, what could I do for this? How could I get back? He was just on.
Right.
So me seeing that made me believe in him even more than he understood at that point. So his first major camp was a Nike camp in Southern California.
Okay.
And I literally begged and did everything I could do to get him in that camp.
Yeah.
Just because he wasn't on the radar. He didn't have the stars. He didn't have the rankings. He didn't have any of that. But I'm just telling the guys, like, this kid can play. He's good. He has a great frame. He's long. I'm just selling it.
right.
Yeah.
They let him in. He ended up being like one of the defensive MVP or something. And it just set him on fire. Multiple offers after that. Went off to Reno. And then obviously got drafted and had a great NFL career.
Damn.
So that's one. But just off the top, Xavier Grimble played in the league.
Yeah.
Phase one kid when he was young.
Yeah.
He was on my first 7-on-7 team at the first 7-on-7 tournament that was ever.
Yeah.
Was at UNLV. It was the first one ever.
Yeah.
So Xavier, Corey.
I played for his uncle at Gorman.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, I played for his uncle. I played with his cousin. What's his younger cousin name?
Not
He was a tight end too. I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who. But yeah, so X was one of ours. Corey Toomer played in the league as well. Who else off the top of my head, man? And so, David Hill, who's now a coach at Georgia.
Yeah.
These are phase one athletes. I'm talking about early. Like, I had a Buick Riviera, and I would pack them in the back, and we'd drive all the way to LA with we probably got $18 in our pocket combined.
Right.
Everybody in the car.
That's crazy.
Hey, pull your shit together. We gonna get some McDonald's, all right?
I literally remember pulling up at like McDonald's, just getting like 6 large fries and dumping them on the table.
Yeah.
Like, hey, everybody get what you get. Like, we just gonna do what we gotta do. You know what I mean? But it was so impactful. So I knew what it was doing, and it wasn't about money. It wasn't even about business at that point. It was just, I just knew I was helping them. I didn't know how. I didn't know why. Half the stuff didn't even make sense, but it was just like, this is what we're doing. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, basically, man, most of the high-level athletes that have came out of this city, I could say a good percentage of them, like a high percent, came through Phase 1 at some point, and some of them through the whole Brevin Jordan, who's playing in the league right now, Tony Fields, who's playing in the NFL right now. These are Phase 1 athletes. I remember Brevin hanging from the bars in the gym when he was too young to even start training.
Oh, what?
Yeah, because he had an older brother named O'Shea that was older than him. So O'Shea would be in there training, and he would just be with mom, like,
damn, that's so sick.
And mom would be like, get down, get off of that, da-da-da. And I'd be like, no, let him, he's fine. Because he was just an athlete. You know, young kids, they want to swing on something.
Right,
and I would just be like, no, he's fine. And she'd be like, all right.
It's got to be the best, bro, to see them
Turned out to
succeed
be one of the best.
from the time they were babies all the way through.
Literally, bro, great feeling.
All the way
Great
through.
feeling.
How often was it like especially from the starting days like that? How often were people like telling you like, man, you're crazy. Why are you doing this?
Well, from day zero.
Yeah.
From day zero. I'm going to tell you right now, and most of the close people to me are probably lying. Like, no, we always believed in you. They didn't.
Right.
Everyone. I had a business coach that told me that this is not a good business. You know what I mean? Literally.
Yeah.
And I went to her for it. Like, she had 30 years of experience at the time. And she's like, this doesn't seem like a business. It seems more like a hobby. You know, because everyone looked at it as like, you should do this on the weekend.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, this sounds like a cool Saturday morning vibe.
For sure.
Right? And mind you, looking at it, knowing what I know about business, I can see why people said that.
For sure.
And then you got to look at the other side. I just finished playing football at UNLV. Just finished school. So I can literally go anywhere at this point and probably get a $150,000 job that day. When you play football, you got the connections.
Right.
All the boosters were the Finleys, Toyotas, and all the. I could have went anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I was like, no, this is what I want to do. And I think what really saved me or kept me going was I started so early at 25 that I didn't need anything.
Yeah.
At that time, I had a house right here on Rancho in like Charleston area.
Yeah.
Had a house, dude, had 4 roommates and me. It was 5 of us in this house. So rent, I think, was like $500 total.
Yeah.
And that was like cable. We had every channel. Cause it was 5 of us. It's like everybody put in 500. We pretty much good.
Yeah, we're good.
We are
set.
good. So when I started, and even though everyone was saying, you know, oh man, it's not gonna work. How you gonna make money? Da, da, da. And they were right, because it would be like I'll be doing Saturday hill training, and I don't know business. I'm like, everybody bring $5.
Yeah, yeah.
I made $30, and I'm feeling like $30. Like I'm
Fuck
good.
yeah, let's go. I got gas for the trip.
I'm good to go. So it really helped the time that I started. You know, also why I waited a long time to have kids, because I knew I was in grind mode and I didn't want that responsibility at that point, because I knew it would probably pull me away from the mission, right?
Right.
Because at 25, it was passion, energy, fuel. And then the flip side is, like I said, $500 rent. I remember eating specifically, I would always go get 2 tacos from Jack in the Box and a water cup. It was $1. And it didn't bother me. I never was like, I can't. It was just,
that's what it was.
I'm just gonna go get.
Yeah.
When I have some good money, I'll get the spicy chicken sandwich.
Maybe an Oreo milkshake. Maybe.
Yeah, and I'll dump that in. Like, that's fine. But my 2 tacos are fine.
Yeah.
And my water cup. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get a little Sprite, and then I'm gonna put water in it, and then I'm gonna roll. I'm good. Like, no big deal. You know, so that's really what helped, man. But back to your point, everyone.
Yeah.
I would say that first year and a half, 2 years, probably year 1 through 3, everybody was just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And why?
Yeah.
So
let me tell you this, Mike. So, like, you know, for us, this is going to be in November. It's 4 years for us.
Oh, beautiful.
Right.
Great. Congrats.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. I remember, God, this might have been already almost a year and a half ago. Yeah. You know, I was looking at programs that are doing it right, you know, and your program was a program, like I said, that's been doing it over, 20 years now. Yeah. Right. I remember I hit you up on Instagram, I don't even know if you remember this, but I was just like, hey man, like, my name's Napoleon. I run a wrestling gym out here. And I just started asking you questions. Right. And bro, you responded to me fast too. And I was like, damn, okay, cool. Like, this dude hit me back. He like gave me some good advice, and then, you were talking about specifically the direction of where phase 1 is going. Right. And that, I know your academies that you have. I see them, that you've expanded in even I think Hawaii now and, different locations. So, talk to us about that program. Yeah. Why is that program so special? And what benefits of that program have you seen for the kids?
Yeah, it's been a great addition to what we've done, right? So, and it all stemmed. Let me rephrase. It didn't all stem. I had the idea of the academy prior to COVID. About 2018, I was like, dude, I think this is where it's going.
Yeah.
This academy program, I'm just starting to see it.
Yeah.
I started doing my research. I found the one that was in Southern California that was doing a good job. There was another one in Colorado that was specific to hockey players that had been around for years, and they were doing it. And I'm just watching it going, this is the next move.
Yeah,
this is the wave right here.
Yeah.
Right? And so the irony of it was the ones that I found, most of them were only catering to those specialty sports. So meaning like hockey players or golfers or gymnasts.
I was going to say gymnastics. Yeah, I seen that.
Because they can't go to school because of all the tournaments. Right. So they were kind of like homeschooled, but they were at this facility. And that's why you hear parents say, my kid's in gymnastics and she works out for 8 hours a day. You're like, how?
Yeah.
Right.
It's because they do our academic curriculum and then they're in the gym freaking training for 8 hours, which is how they end up in the Olympics at 17. Right. You know what I mean? And we're trying to figure out, the youngest ever. Well, yeah, she's been training 10 hours a day since she was 4.
Yeah.
You know, so I started putting that together and then COVID hit, right? So when COVID hit, we obviously had to shut everything down. It got all crazy. So when we came back, a lot of parents were hesitant to put their kid back in school. You know what I mean? They're like, Mike, we're just not sure with the COVID stuff. We don't know. And literally, I had parents that knew that I was considering the academy that basically forced me.
Yeah.
They were like, I got 7 kids. What can you do? Like, can you start the academy right now?
Right.
And we was like, cool, let's do it. And now we're going on year 5 with the academy. But what I noticed after the first year, what I noticed was the accelerated progression of these athletes.
Okay.
Maturity, physically, mentally, everything. Because if you look at it simple, right? So most athletes that train at phase 1, the hardest thing we deal with is schedule. Okay. If it's a baseball player, he's got practice Monday, Wednesday. You got tournaments Friday, Saturday, Sunday. How do I get what I need, which is 3-4 days a week of performance to make you a better athlete?
Right.
We're usually on the back end.
Right.
Usually the parents are like, we can do 1 day a week. And I'm like,
that's everything you're going to do now.
I guess it's better than nothing, but I'm not going to really. Right. So when you look at it, we had athletes training 2-3 days a week. Every once in a while, we'd get somebody doing 4. And they would have great results. Bigger, faster, stronger, development, everything. So looking at the academy, these kids are training for 90 minutes a day when the regular session is only 1 hour.
Right.
So now they're training an hour and a half a day, doing 30 minutes of recovery a day, and they're doing this 5 days a week for 10 months.
Right.
So the accelerated development it's just crazy. It's like night and day. And then we're also, which I love about our academy, we incorporate all the life skills. So we're doing goal setting, time management, social media management. We're going to 3 Square to pack lunches. We have next semester we're doing the women's center. Going to actually feed them and do all the
that's dope. Community work.
Community work.
For sure.
Teaching them that you're cool. Yeah, your parent can afford to have you here, but guess what? They're not even sure if they're going to eat today.
Right.
And let's go help them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like really doing it.
Show them to be grateful for the opportunities that they do have.
Exactly. So the development with the academy has been great, man.
Damn, man.
Awesome.
That's so sick.
With your academy now, do you guys focus mainly on middle school kids?
Yep.
Here it comes.
Uh-oh.
I told you, Mike.
Here it comes.
Oh God!
I told you, Mike. Cut. Excuse me. Sorry. But like I was saying about your academy, is it a middle school academy? Is it do you go all the way through? What do you feel like has been? Because we had some parents. We started our homeschool program here.
Awesome.
And
you guys just started it this year? Or?
This is year 2 for us.
Oh, beautiful.
So year 2 for us.
Awesome.
Very, very simple. Just literally just 2 days a week of just trying to get kids involved with wrestling who are in homeschool. Nice. Kids that just want to opportunity to try something different. Yeah. Honestly, we get a lot of football players. Yeah. We get a lot of football players. We always tell football players, we're like, look, man, if you can wrestle,
it's gonna make you a better football player, whichever way, whether it's wrestling or football. Same,
hands down. So we started that this year. And parents were like, hey, I was talking about your program phase 1. I was like, I think it's a middle school program. Yeah. And they're like, well, what's better than having them start in the middle school as opposed to starting them earlier? Like, what's your opinion on that?
It just depends, man. Excuse me. For something like wrestling, maybe there's some benefit to starting a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
Because of the technicality of the sport. But I looked at middle school. The reason I went 6th, 7th, 8th grade, because to me, those are the most developmental years, and it's the preparation for high school, right? And full transparency, I'm not babysitting.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right,
A 4th grader, I'm going to have days where I'm just like, You're just in a bad mood. Now I got to do. You know what I mean? I got to be a parent.
Right.
For sure.
With the 6th grader, I can look you in the eye and be like, "Get your ish together because we got work to do," and they're gonna respond. You know what I mean? So that's why I like the 6th, 7th, and 8th as kind of the main focal point, because think about it, when you first really start training and developing, when your body actually can deal with strength training and more plyometric type stuff and all that, it's usually right around that 6th grade, 7th grade.
Yeah,
so it's there. So if we go younger, we're going to probably be babysitting a little bit more than I would want to personally.
Yep.
Also, it's going to be a little bit more limited on the training and what we can really do.
Yeah.
I'm big, like I mentioned earlier, on the life skills. Which not that a 4th grader, for example, is not is not going to benefit from some of that, but they're not going to benefit to the degree of a 7th grader when I pull up their social media and I say, "Why'd you post this?" and "This is what we're doing." What if a college coach looks at this and and go, "Yeah, that's true. So we want to delete that, clean that up. Let's do that." That's going to be that middle school. And when they step on campus in high school,
they know the deal.
Head and shoulders above.
They're ready to rock.
Yep.
Man, I love that. Hey, we're gonna take a quick break and we're gonna move on to a little bit more fun of a segment here.
There we go.
Okay, here we go. We call this shot out of a cannon. Right? So just quick little questions here. Just give me one word answers. You can elaborate if you want.
One word answer.
One word answers. If you want, you can elaborate.
Just make sure you answer correctly, Mike.
Hot seat. And make sure it's all politically correct.
Just make sure you answer correctly, Mike.
Don't mess it up. Don't mess it up.
Don't mess it up.
All right, here we go. This is shot out of a cannon. Here we go. Ice bath or sauna?
Ice bath.
Ice bath. Okay. This is for the high school kids. Supplements or no supplements?
Supplements.
Supplements.
Yes.
Tell me one of your favorites.
For mine, believe it or not, creatine.
Creatine.
Yep, because a lot of athletes aren't eating enough meat and enough protein, and creatine is a great supplement, as well as regular protein, but I just like creatine because it's literally the substance that's mainly in red meat, and kids aren't eating steak 3 times a week. They're barely eating at all. So that would be considered one of my favorite.
Takis and turbos.
Exactly. So at least put some creatine with it, right?
Yeah. Sprinkle some power on top of that shit.
You good. You know what I mean? Throw it in there.
I love it. All right. You being obviously a football advocate, the old school football rules or the new school football rules?
Both. Old school, because that's what football really is. But when you have to deal with stuff like Junior Seau and people that we know have brand, you no longer can look at it and say, "I think they shouldn't have changed the rules," because there's still humans out there. There's still people. Those are still fathers. Those are still people that are going to live a lot more years after football than playing. Most NFL players retire in their early 30s.
That makes sense.
They got 50 years of living left. So who wants to live that with that kind of a... So
both.
Sorry for the both answer, but I do.
We'll take both. At least you elaborated.
I miss Ronnie Lott smacking people.
Yeah.
I miss all that. But jeez,
I seen a play the other day getting tossed up, and I was like telling my wife, I was like, Brian Dawkins was back there. There wouldn't have been no interception.
Killed everybody. Like an atomic bomb going off on the football.
There wouldn't have been no interception.
Bro, Eddie coming out the tunnel crawling on his Wolverine.
Terrifying.
Bro, whole different game.
Terrifying.
Right now, he wouldn't even be able to play. They would eject him right when the game started.
Yeah.
Sir, you are disqualified.
You're done.
He'd be like, I didn't do anything yet. We know what you were thinking about doing.
You want to kill somebody. We can't do that.
Yeah, we can no longer do that.
All right, I'm going to give you some legends. I want you to tell me your opinion. Here we go. Mike Vick or Lamar Jackson?
Mike Vick.
Mike Vick or Pat Mahomes?
Pat Mahomes.
Palomalu or Ed Reed?
Ed Reed.
Ooh. That's a scary person.
Mm-hmm. Both of them are terrifying.
Yeah, both of them are crazy.
Both of them are terrifying.
Yeah.
On that Ravens defense, though.
With Ray Lewis?
When he was there,
scary.
boy.
Ray Lewis.
That was a terrifying defense.
That was.
Well, that's actually one up next. Ray Lewis or Fred Warner?
Ray Lewis.
Ray Lewis.
Yeah, Ray Lewis.
Just legendary.
He's hard to beat.
Yeah, it's the legendary, the leadership, the motivation, the
dance.
The dance. It's a whole different thing. Ray Lewis is a whole show by itself. He's a whole show.
It's a whole nother beat.
Yeah, and he did it for a long time.
That is very true.
Right.
That is very true. All right. Marshawn Lynch or Derrick Henry?
See, people gonna hate me for this. I'm going Marshawn all day.
I agree.
And here's the thing.
So you're at the 1 yard line. Who you do giving it to?
I'm giving it to one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
But a lot of people. I've been actually having this Derrick Henry argument for weeks now, and I like him a lot. But I think Marshawn just the way he ran, his style, the impact that he had. I would say even Henry will say I got some of that from him.
Yeah,
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so the stiff arms and down the field and that was
Run through a
beast mode.
motherfucker's face.
That was beast mode.
I wouldn't want to hit
over and over and over and over. Like that's classic, bro. That's classic.
Absolutely. All right, my last one here. My last question for you. It's going to lead into our later topic.
Yep.
A lot of people, it's controversial for people right now.
Political time. Let me think.
NILs?
Just make sure you answer that.
NILs or no NILs for college kids?
NIL all day.
I agree.
NIL
Yes.
all day.
I agree.
100%.
I agree.
We've been talking. Me and Nat been talking about NIL since we were in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote a college paper on it.
Both of us did a college
Yeah.
paper on
wow.
NILs, and back then it wasn't NIL. It was just improper benefits.
Yeah, just
You know, like
can,
it
they, can they
was,
make some money? Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know, and
Wow.
like I remember when I was talking about it to like some of
That's
my
dope.
classmates, and I'd be sitting in the classroom like, we should be getting paid, and all the kids.
They're like, wow.
They'd be like, "What?
You're getting
so
the education.
Why are you getting paid, but the kid playing the flute on the band isn't getting played?" And I'm like, "I never said he couldn't get
Yeah,
played.
he
I'm
should
just
get
saying I'm an
paid too.
athlete. I should be getting paid."
I mean,
100%.
is he good? How good is he?
Like, come on now.
He can be sponsored by a flute company or something.
Right. So right here now, PT. I'm sorry, not PT, fucking Mike. NILs, bro. What have you seen? How has that been the game changer for college players?
Especially football specifically, because
yeah.
that's a big
Yeah,
market.
that's where it's really
That's a
really
big
hitting
market.
hard.
That's a different beast. So what's happening out there?
So here's the first part. I think that the NCAA, they had some lawsuits and stuff prior to NIL.
Right.
So they've been on the defensive the whole time.
Yeah.
I think the only mistake that they made is they hit the green light button on NIL, but they didn't put any parameters around it.
It's like the Wild West.
They
out
just
there.
said,
Right.
yes, you can make money.
Make
Now
as
leave
much
us
as you
alone.
can.
Now leave us alone. Boosters coming out of nowhere, collectives,
Yeah,
creating
right.
basically who has the most money gets the best. Like it just opened up the opportunity for people with money in schools to just come in and just create their own rules and just dominate with a bag of money.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that part I don't like as much. I wish there was a little bit more structure around it, a little bit more parameters around it. But I do love the free market, the open market for athletes to be able to make as much money as they want to make,
Right.
or as they can make, I'll say.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's my only downside to it. But I think it's great. I think the college athletes deserve it. I
Yeah.
think if you look at how many billions of dollars that are being generated on these games, especially like you said, we're talking football. We're talking about stadiums like Michigan that's got 101,000 people at every game and
Right.
been sold out for 20 years.
I tell people
Where's
this all the
that
time.
money going?
Yeah, right.
March
You know what I mean?
Madness. How much money does Vegas alone make off March
Vegas
Madness?
alone is probably 100 million in that. And you got to
In
think
that
the
short time-
hotels, the food. It's
Nuts.
impacting everything.
I agree.
So that's why I know NIL had to happen. The O'Bannon brothers are the ones that really set it off.
Yeah.
The basketball players from UCLA, they really did it because they had the biggest lawsuit and they were the first ones to actually win.
Oh, is that right?
It was called O'Bannon versus NCAA. I think
Yeah.
is what the kind of everyone titled it.
Yeah.
But they actually went in because of they were they had like the number one jersey sales
Okay.
and they weren't being compensated at all
anything.
And they actually went through a freaking I don't know, I think it was like almost a 10-year process.
Damn.
Holy
And
shit.
actually won. And then that was kind of the stamp that made the NCAA say, we got to change
Have to,
this
right.
because everyone's going to come after us.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was kind of part of it. So I think it's been great, man. And on a personal level, I've seen some athletes already benefit from it from the school side, meaning the collective,
Right.
to where they're basically getting guaranteed X amount of money to go play
That's dope.
at that school. You know what I mean?
Right.
Now in the recruiting process, it's all a part of it.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we want you to come here. That the underlining question at the end
And
of the
we get
thing
you
is, how much money?
How much? Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? We love you, but how much money?
For sure.
You know what I mean? And rightfully so. I mean, I think it should be some level of that. And then also the opportunity that I think a lot of athletes are missing is the local businesses, the smaller businesses.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
The NIL. Imagine right now a college kid can do an NIL with your facility, right here.
Right.
For
and
sure.
now they can talk about it on social media when they're in town, do little guest appearances,
1,000%.
make a couple dollars,
Yeah,
and be a part of the community.
Yeah.
So I think athletes need to open their eyes a little bit more and don't just see it as Nike, Adidas, collectives.
There's
You know what I
other
mean?
opportunities out there other than the big wigs.
What about the
Yeah.
pizza spot that everybody goes to on Friday night?
Right.
Right.
Go in
Right,
there and
sure.
say, hey, I'm the starting quarterback at this high school. If you want us to all come here Friday night at 9 o'clock after the game and buy slices of pizza till 1 a.m,
Yep.
I'll bring my whole team.
all I need is X.
Yeah.
You know, give me $500.
For sure.
You can say something. It don't have to be crazy.
Anything.
Give me $250 and I'll make sure everybody cool. And that pizza spot gonna make more money in them 3-4 hours than they made all week.
So let me ask you about the situation that happened. You being a UNLV alumni.
Here we go.
I gotta hear this. I gotta hear this one. Look.
Whose fault was
Hey,
it?
look. 4-0. 4-0 now. Okay, yeah.
Oh shit!
4-0.
I mean, 4-5-1, I think.
Drink your
Yeah.
Let
coffee,
me ask
Mike.
you this:
Drink your
Was
coffee.
this
I'm gonna slow down on this.
was this the right guidance by the whoever telling them to quit? Because this is me and Ker, you know Kerwin here.
Yeah.
So
Kerwin,
Kerwin, we were
yeah.
talking about it the other day, and I'm like, man, like, but what if he finishes with UNLV's top 25 season ever?
Yep.
You know, you go undefeated. First time UNLV doing that in what 30, 40 years, maybe ever.
Ever. Yeah.
Your stock
Through the roof.
through the roof. So why pull out for $100,000 when next year might be your $500,000, $1 million deal?
Yep.
So I want to hear your opinion on this.
All right. Honest opinion.
Honest opinion. Yes. Just let me know.
This is not insider information.
No,
I don't know anybody on the inside.
Yeah, good.
So disclaimer. Mike Waters, I do not approve this message. But I honestly believe what happened was I do feel like there was some communication that he's going to either get $100,000 or potential to get $100,000. I think because I know in the recruiting process, it's a lot of words flying back and forth.
Yeah.
The mistake was made when there wasn't any contractual agreement and it was just open conversation.
Got you.
You see what I'm saying? So if you're a coach and you tell me, hey, Mike, we're going to get you $100K, before I finish my little process and get to your school, I'm going to need my contractual agreement and how I'm making my $100K.
Got you.
He's saying that he was promised that, got there, and now week 4, nothing.
Where we at?
But there was no, it wasn't even the head
There
coach
was,
that
yeah,
said
there was
it.
no written anything.
Nothing written. It was verbal.
Nothing
it wasn't
on camera.
Even, he said it wasn't the head coach. It was an assistant.
Right.
So everything about it is like,
Kind of a little wishy-washy.
damn.
Yeah. What is going on?
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I wish it was more structure to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
But so that's the first part. The second part, this is where it gets a little controversial.
Okay.
When the 100,000 came out and all of those situation, UNLV top 25, 4-0, all that good stuff. I believe they could have very easily gave him $100,000.
I agree.
Right.
Whether it's from the collective,
I
whether
agree.
it was from the
I know
VP
somebody.
of the Circa, I think the VP of Circa.
I mean, we live in one of the richest
Yeah.
cities in the world.
The VP of
How do they
Circle
not have
offered.
money to just give?
Oh, is that right?
No, he went on
shit.
Twitter and said, "I will give you $100,000."
Oh, no shit.
And UNLV told him, "No,
No,
you will not."
that's crazy.
I didn't even know all that.
Yes, it was literally on. It was
That's
in writing.
awesome.
It was like he signed it. Like, this is from me.
Yeah.
It was like I want to say the VP of Circa. I think it's a VP. So here's the controversial part of this. I think this is just me being a football guy. This has nothing to do with UNLV alumni. I think they could have easily gave it to him,
Right.
but I don't think they saw him as worth it. Just my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think the reason my opinion is stronger today than it was when this happened is because the dude behind him came in and had a great freaking game
Great game.
and didn't play well. I mean, played well in the loss.
Yeah. Great
They
game.
just lost by 3.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
And there was
football.
some reffing
Some referee
some
stuff
referee
that didn't
issues
make-
that we were all like, hold on.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, one, if I'm UNLV and you're strong arming me,
Yeah.
which you kind of are,
For sure.
because we should have had an agreement or we should have had something in place,
Yeah.
or you should have said, hey,
Or
coach so
hopefully it
and
was
so
done
said
privately. Hopefully it was done privately.
done
Yeah.
privately,
Yeah.
or coach so and so said I was going to get X. Hey, before I show up, what are we doing? Oh, he said what? Oh, I never signed up. Now y'all could have figured all that out
Right.
back then.
Easy. Yeah.
But the fact that, like I said, that they didn't do it when they could have solved it, that's what makes me believe it wasn't a legitimate offer.
Gotcha.
And I think the problem is recruiting is recruiting, and recruiting, a lot of stuff happens in recruiting that should not happen.
Right.
But I think the coach could have simply said, I think you're going to be good for $100K if you come to UNLV.
Got you.
And I think maybe the coach believed that. Maybe he straight up lied and said, I'm going to give you $100,000. Maybe he did. I wasn't on the phone. Or I wasn't at the meeting.
Yeah.
But in either one of them scenarios, it still should be contractual.
Man, no, I agree.
So yeah,
I agree.
So I'll leave that right there. But I think,
love it.
And from what I understand, this is a little slightly insider information. From what I understand, the team, the players, especially the offensive players, from day one liked, I can't even think of his name. What's the one that's starting right now? They liked him better. As far as they felt like he was a better fit, better leader, better team player.
Gotcha.
I can't even think of his name. That's sad.
Yeah.
But that was told to me by multiple people inside that were like, we're not worried.
Yeah.
That's actually who we wanted.
I'm not gonna lie, man. When those guys left, I was like, I hope this guy wins.
Yeah.
I hope this new starter comes in and finishes
And he
undefeated
did. And did it at home.
Yeah,
in front of
man.
everybody. Yep.
Yeah, the way that last 3 minutes of that game ended up, I was like, shit. I wanted the new guy to come in and step in and finish the season strong. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So where's that guy at now? Where's the?
He's got to take a red shirt year, and we'll
He's
see
gotta
where the
sit
hell he
out
ends
right
up.
now.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's, strategy wise, like you said, should he have quit? I think there's two quick answers to that. Number one, sometimes you quit before you get exposed.
Yeah.
Because if you really watch his games, he played well, but he played really individual. He took off running a lot. He did a lot of stuff that wasn't necessarily team oriented that got the win.
Right.
Which you can't be mad at that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Some quarterbacks just have that gift.
Right.
But could he have sustained that through the whole year? I don't know.
Who knows?
So if I'm hot right now and you're not going to give me the 100K, it's a good time for me to pull out because everyone just sees me as the hot guy.
As the
You know what I mean?
4-0 guy that
The
just
4-0
brought you in,
guy that
yeah.
got you to top 25. Y'all don't want to
1000%.
pay me. So now who wants me?
1000%.
Now it's a better bidding war out there for you.
1000%.
Than you saying, I'm going to stay, and then by the end of the season, we're 4-6. You know what I mean? Or you're just not performing at a high level. Now you stuck and you don't have your 100,000.
Dude,
So anyway, that was
real quick, do athletes like that? Do they typically, especially guys like him, do they typically have like an agent or like a manager or anything like that at that age, or is it they just kind of walking into these recruiting like meetings just blind, or do they have someone usually that's like, hey, this is what
Represents
you're
him or
looking for,
something.
like this is what you need? Because it sounds to me like it was a very miscommunicated process.
It was, and to answer your question, some do. The bigger name kids, they do. The ones that are like the young men that got 20 offers from Alabama, Georgia, but they usually find someone. Even myself, I represent a handful of athletes, local athletes, in their NIL management and their contracts.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? So to have someone like myself involved is key because we can see it from a different perspective. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but a lot of them don't. And the parents are typically the ones that are involved. And the parents are usually the ones that get more excited about it, but don't understand business, the logic, the contractual agreement, the structure. How is he getting paid? Is this weekly? Is this monthly?
The
You know what I mean?
little details,
There's a lot that goes
yeah.
into it. Because I just said,
Sound like a lot, low key.
The question is how? 100K when you're done, 5 years from now. What's the agreement?
For sure.
You know, it's 100K
Right.
per year divided by 52 weeks. This is how much you're going to make, and it's going to go into your account. Now we're talking. Sign right here.
Yeah, no,
but
that
a
makes
lot of
sense.
them don't. The parents just get excited.
They hear 100K and they're like, yeah, no problem.
Yeah, because
Cool.
the last school said 50, and they said 100. So parents are like, we're going there, 100.
Yeah.
And that's the only conversation they have. And then when they get there, so even right now, there's multiple. I know there's at least 3 to 4 lawsuits right now that are directly related to NIL and athletes not being paid.
And I think that's why parameters will be set in hopefully next year or two.
Yep.
Next year or two. All right, well, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to a new segment we just started here, Mike.
Uh-oh.
It's called What Pisses Me Off.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Val Rouser.
It's my favorite segment. I love this
I
segment.
loved your last
It's
segment.
yours?
Yeah, he crushed it last time. He crushed it.
Oh, no.
All right, Val.
I got to hear it.
Actually, real quick before we move on.
Go ahead.
This segment is sponsored by our ATC adult program here on Fridays, 6 o'clock to 7 o'clock. You're here with Coach Alex, one of the best wrestling coaches in the city. If you're an adult, you do jiu-jitsu, or you're an adult, you want to just freaking get some wrestling in,
Learn how to defend yourself, get a workout in. Come check us out.
he's the man. Get
you
it
think
done.
wrestling's easy? Come try it out. Coach Alex will show you what's up.
In seconds.
So, Val Rouser, what's pissing you off, buddy?
Oh, man. You know what's pissing me off, and I've heard it like a lot in the last probably 2 weeks is just not complaining, excuses.
Excuses.
Excuses, man. Like,
Don't like 'em.
when we were kids, there was no such thing. I don't feel
Well,
good.
you tried to.
I don't feel good, Dad. I don't give a fuck. Put your shoes on. We're going to practice.
Right.
Yeah.
You
Right.
know what I mean? Like, oh, my leg hurts. Is it broken? Is your bone showing?
Yeah.
Are you bleeding?
Yeah.
Do you need to go to the hospital? No? Okay. Put your shoes on. We have a 5-mile run.
Right.
You know what I
Back to
mean?
where we started. Put your shoes on. Like,
I heard it so many times this last week, and like it's to the point now where I'm just like,
pissing you off.
It's really starting to upset me because it's like, man, you guys never would have made it.
Right.
Back in our day.
You sound like an old timer, buddy.
It's just different.
Yeah,
You sound like an old timer,
It's
buddy.
different. This
I love it.
This
I
day
love
and age
it.
is different. But listen, I'll tell you what.
It's probably the goatee.
I got a 9-year-old at home. We've seen it this morning. I've never heard baby Leo ever make an excuse on why he didn't work hard.
Yeah.
And he's 9.
He's a killer.
We got
dude.
18-year-olds saying, Coach, I stubbed my toe last night. I can't walk.
Like, what is going on?
So what does that mean? You want to not practice?
Yeah.
Right.
Don't want to work out today? Like,
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Let's figure it out.
Thanks for telling me what's
Like-
pissing you off,
Yeah,
buddy.
right.
So let's move
That's
on.
what
Let's
pissed
move
me
on.
off.
Let's move on. Let's move on. You're getting too deep into this. We got to move
Getting
on to
real
this.
personal, man.
Listen,
We gotta move on.
motherfuckers.
So you guys
Hey,
know Little
so,
Johnny,
yeah,
right?
so don't tell Coach Val your excuses.
I don't care. I want
He
to
will
hear it.
blast you.
He will blast
He
you.
will blast you.
I'm going to run you down.
Yeah, hey, Alex, what's pissing you off, buddy?
You know what pisses me off?
What?
Especially all of us. Coach, I was talking so Mike. You know what pisses me off, bro?
What?
Especially being
Yeah,
in
back
Vegas,
up.
being ashy. Being ashy. Look, yo, this heat, this dry heat, you need to come prepared. You need
Oh,
lotion.
my knuckles are kind of bad
You need
right now.
lotion. You need chapstick all the time. Like right after I get out the shower, I put the lotion on. I
Drink
think
some
I'm
water.
good. Next thing you know, I come out ashy.
Drink
That's
some water,
one
man.
thing
You
that-
just ain't hydrated. That's all.
No, man, it don't
Yeah,
work. It don't
being
work.
ashy.
It don't work.
I hate being ashy. Being
don't
ashy is the
work.
worst.
It don't work.
That's what
I
pisses me
love
off.
it.
That's
I
what
love
pisses
it.
me
I love
off.
it. I love it. What's pissing me off is not last night. The other night I woke up. You know, I'm trying to be quiet. My wife's sleeping, and I go to walk to the bathroom. Wham! Just mashed my toe right on the freaking edge of the
You
bed.
gotta
dude.
use a flashlight at all? No flashlight, just blind reaching.
No, just kind of blind. Just kind of blind.
I know where the
reaching.
bathroom
Yeah,
is.
he's like,
You
I
know?
know it's my
I know how many
And
steps
then I'm
takes.
trying to be quiet, bro, and then I get yelled at for fucking, screaming that I'm in pain.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
what's pissing me
So
off.
you weren't okay. It was, you woke me up.
Right. No.
Shut up.
Mashed
Why
my
are you
toe.
making so much noise?
Yeah. Mike, is anything pissing you off today?
Anything pissed me off today? Nothing specifically today, but I would say one thing that does piss me off
Tell me. I want to know.
is the lack of community in Vegas.
Oh, I agree, man.
The lack of
100%,
community,
bro.
the lack of
Yes. How do you
people being able to do what we're doing right now.
Community.
Because the common thought in Vegas is, I have a gym, you have a gym. We're competitors, right? But we're really not.
Right.
And why do you even feel like that? And what makes you think, you know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
You know what I mean? So
I'm better than you, so fuck you.
yeah, that's it. Or there's only 30 athletes and I need all 30.
Yeah.
Right.
Which there's really 300,000.
Right,
And none of us can serve them all.
None of us.
Right.
So at the end of the day, I think that's what pisses me off is that, even specifically in our area niche,
Yeah.
gym owners. There's 20, 30 facilities in town now.
Yeah.
But we don't have anything that says, hey, let's all get together once a year and just brainstorm.
Yeah.
Let's do this, let's do that. Nope. All you hear is, oh, we're better than them. We're
Yeah.
this,
Right.
we're that.
Yeah.
And it's like, so that's one thing that just ongoing. That's why I always make it a point to be the difference. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's
like
awesome,
I've talked to every gym owner. I'm cool. Chop it
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
Like you said, you send me a message. I'm like, what's up? What you need? Like,
Right.
because I think that's how. If we all did that, your gym would be more successful. Mine would be more successful. Like we would
Right.
all win.
1000%.
There's no loss. It's not a
1000%.
pie. And these are the 4 slices. And hey, I can't give you a slice because then I don't know. We all can eat.
1000%, man. And I'll
So,
tell you
yeah.
what, man. And thank you again, man, for messaging me that day because I was like, damn. Like this dude was willing to give me. He don't know me. Willing to just give me some information. Literally. And that's at the end of the day what I feel a lot of it is it's information.
Yeah, that's it.
being able to pass it to each other.
Yeah.
Hey man, what works for you? What works for me? And
Have to.
and that's how we all grow together.
100%.
Man, I absolutely love that, Mike.
I love that.
I
That's
absolutely
a
love that,
good
man.
what pisses me off right there.
Yeah, that's a great one.
That's a good one.
Val, yours got really
yours
deep,
went-
man. Like way dark. I try to move
That's
on,
just how
but
I
you
am.
wanna.
That's just, listen, that was
He
that
pulled out a
was
list of names. He's like, so Steve Johnson, Chris, these are the ones right here. Cameron, you see that? Zoom in
that
on
was my one out of pocket moment. Okay, I had that one per session.
It's
All
okay. I
right.
sneezed
love
already. My phone rang. It's okay.
I love it,
It's
bro.
okay.
It's
Get
the
it
5
out.
a.m.'s catching up, Val. It's the 5
I
a.m.'s.
hope our kids
It's the
watch
5
this
a.m.
shit because when you come up to me, just know
They're not gonna go. They're gonna go.
No,
I
yeah.
don't know one of you two. I don't want to hear it.
They're not going to at all.
All right, Mike. Hey, man.
man.
I know you serve not only football players.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You serve different athletes. So, let's talk about youth. What's your opinion on playing different sports? As when we were kids, I don't know about you, but when I played at least 2-3 sports.
Yeah.
Nowadays everyone is getting specialized so young, so early, as fast as they can. What is your opinion on that?
That's a hard one. My opinion on that has changed.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And I'm willing to admit that it has changed.
Okay.
Earlier opinion, play 4 sports, 5, play it all.
Right.
Become a better athlete.
Gotcha.
Right? No matter what. So that way, by the time you're a senior, junior, whatever, you'll start to find that one sport that makes sense. But you'll be so athletic and so developed and so versatile that you'll be great.
Okay.
Right? That was what I rode with all the way till, I would say, recently, last 3 to 5 years or so.
Oh, so this kind of recently.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I'm
Okay.
saying. So, and here's why. I do a lot of recruiting, right? So I help a lot of kids get scholarships and sending film out and calling coaches and doing the whole thing for all sports. When I first started in those earlier years, I could, quote unquote, sell an athlete to a college to get a full ride because he was a great athlete, because she was a great athlete.
Right.
Like, no, this girl is just a great athlete.
Right.
And she wants to play college soccer.
Right.
Recruiter.
Right.
Mike, you're right. She's fast. She's this. She's athletic.
Yeah.
Don't know a lot about soccer, but
can
athletic.
teach
I
that.
can mold that
Right,
when she
right.
gets here.
Yeah.
Right.
I can do that with a football player when they get here.
Yeah.
With a basketball player, right? That was it. But now the skill level has developed so much over
Insane.
the years that it's almost a disservice. And as crazy as that sounds, and
Yeah.
I still get parents that'll argue with me, which is great.
Yeah.
I love conversation. But here's how I position it. I have a son, you have a son. They both play baseball, right? Let's just compare. It's just your son, my son.
Right.
Your son's going to play baseball for 3 months. Then he's going to go wrestle for 3 months. Then he's going to play football for 3 months.
months, yeah.
And then he's going to come back and play baseball. My son's going to play baseball for the first 3 months. When you go to the next sport, he's going to keep playing baseball, which means he's going to be in the cage. He's going to be working on that swing.
Right.
He's going to be grounding balls. He's going to be working on his arm. He's going to be doing all his little rotator shit.
Right,
You know what I mean? He's going to be doing all his little stuff. You know, little Mike. Get my shoulders. You know, it's gonna be all there.
Right.
And then you're going to switch again. And guess where he's still going to be?
Still hitting the ball.
Out there doing. He's in the tournament. Now he's on the travel team. Now he's doing that. Now you come back. Who's going to be a better baseball player? Even if you're more athletic. Even if your son's just naturally more athletic than mine.
Yeah.
My son's still going to be a better
Baseball player.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's the battle. You know what I mean? That's really
Shut up, Matt.
this guy over here.
Shit.
What is wrong with you?
Mike.
You do this all the time?
It's been like every
All the
episode.
time.
Every episode. Is he
all the
allergic
time.
to himself? Or are you allergic to your
Mike, this is embarrassing, bro. I'm embarrassed.
This guy's allergic to himself.
Yo,
Fucker just breathes through
I'm
his
not gonna lie.
nose.
Hey, I'm completely embarrassed. I'm completely embarrassed right now. Damn, I'm so sorry.
Mike, so how
My
young
bad.
of an
My bad.
age should you start your kid, like in a sport, like for example, like for football, like how young should you start?
As far as like committing to one
exactly,
sport.
committing to.
Great question. So for me, it's right around, at the earliest, I would say around 12, 13, the earliest for me. So I'm still a big fan of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Do whatever you want.
So
They- 'cause they don't even
before
know.
middle school.
Before middle school, because
Do
they
what you
don't
wanna
know.
do.
They don't know yet.
Gotcha.
They might just want to play football because dad played one. Like your son gonna want to wrestle because he's like my dad.
Yeah.
But then you realize like, dude, you're not even that good, but you're way better at this.
Right.
Now, if you give him the confidence to say, dude, you're way better at baseball. Let's do that. You might be like, dude, I love baseball more, Dad, but I didn't want to let you down.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you
That's
start
very,
having those
very true.
conversations.
Right.
So I think up until 12, 13, I think you're good. Mix it up. By that, going into that 6th grade, I would love for an athlete to be committed to
Trying
one
to take it
sport.
serious. Like, here we go. This is
now
what
we know.
sport we're gonna go to.
Our athletes in the academy, if they play football, we know. So we're squatting, we're lifting different, we're going all in because we got to get you ready for football.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And then I would also back in that with by sophomore year is the absolute latest. And I'm not a big fan of that. But, you know, a lot of kids get to 9th grade and they still want to play
Still
baseball,
play football, wanna play all
basketball.
these
They
other sports,
But,
right.
okay, cool. Freshmen, go have fun. But sophomore year, dude, we got to sit at the kitchen table and we got to figure this out.
Like, what we doing?
Because you're not going to get a scholarship in any of them
Right.
if you're just okay in 4 of them.
I agree.
One, we're going to have to pick and say, let's
agree.
go.
Yeah, I agree.
Son, you're only going to be 5'9". Hate to tell you that. Basketball probably not going to be the ticket.
Right.
Yeah.
Right though.
Yeah,
So
I
we're
agree.
going to
We have
have
a lot of
fun.
those
Man, I'm going to put a
situations,
court in the
I
backyard. You can
absolutely
get your
agree.
shot, have fun, call your boys over. But we don't need to do that no more.
That's how that's how I felt in high
you know-
school
you
when
know
I was
what I mean?
playing
I agree.
football. My freshman year, well, first off, 5th grade, tackle football. I'm making the NFL. 100%.
It was done. Done deal. Nothing to talk about.
We play any sort of football on the field. I'm Ray Lewis. I'm Ray Lewis. I'm gonna kill you.
I can see it.
I get to freshman year. I'm 100 pounds. I'm 5'0". I won 2 national championships in wrestling at the time.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
I love football.
You see what I'm
I'm
saying?
a lot better at wrestling.
But guess what? You gonna play some little. I ain't gonna say the game you was gonna play.
Yeah.
You gonna say the game, but you can do that kind of stuff on the side.
Right.
You're not gonna say just a game where you just play football together. With
Yeah,
your
my
friends.
dreams of the NFL ended very quickly.
No,
realize that.
no, Mike. I know you've been
You
watching
guys
some
are
football.
Funny, dude.
I
This is fun.
know you've been watching football. I need you to be an advocate of this, please. We got to help our tackling. We got to get these football players wrestling.
Yeah.
I need more of these young football players.
Yeah.
I need some of these guys to wrestle.
Yeah,
Because this tackling is awful.
pretty much.
Right,
yeah,
right.
We shoot double legs, Mike.
All day. Head up.
is.
Head
Mike, we
up.
shoot double legs,
It
Mike.
is, and they don't get it.
We shoot double legs.
They don't get it.
Ray Lewis was a wrestler.
Oh, was he?
State champ.
I didn't know.
Two-time
champ?
state champ from
wow.
Florida.
I did not
champ.
know that.
Yeah.
State champ.
See?
Or Maryland? Was it Florida or
I think
Maryland?
it's one of those down
I don't
south
know.
states.
I think it's
Probably Florida.
I think it was Florida.
So I'll give y'all a nugget, right? I usually charge for this next 60 seconds. So I might need to stop the camera. Look, if y'all, because obviously y'all look like y'all's ready to jump me over this. So if I would have said no, that's not y'all. I probably got wrestled and choked out or something.
Listen, Mike, you gonna do it.
Yeah,
All right, you gonna do it.
But here's the thing: you just said the key thing. Okay, tackling needs to improve, right?
Right.
Then you guys just said Ray Lewis won how many state championships?
2 state championships.
All right. So why isn't the marketing to all the high school and middle school football players that Ray Lewis was a state championship wrestler, which made
yeah.
him a better football player?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Come to,
Right.
and we get you right.
Right.
Bring it on
Right.
down.
You see
Bring
what
it
I'm
on
saying?
down.
No,
Like,
for real,
like,
though.
those are your niches that you want to look for in business. Is that
For sure.
You go, okay, cool, Ray Lewis, and I'm sure if we typed it in, it's probably another 10 all pros, Hall of Famers that were wrestlers.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I'd
Absolutely.
have a list of them on a freaking post
Absolutely.
that says attention football players.
Right.
Bam, 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 bam,
You're
bam,
gonna be
bam, bam,
you're
bam.
gonna be a better, especially a linebacker, a D lineman, a O lineman. It's all hand to hand combat.
It's all in here,
this-
baby.
It's all this and leverage. Which
Right.
wrestling is what?
All in here and
leverage,
leverage.
right?
All in here and
Right.
leverage.
So same thing. So
love
now,
it.
but you gotta educate them. You gotta tell. You gotta.
You know what's
educate
crazy too is you see these big, especially the big college wrestlers.
Mm-hmm.
They get done with college wrestling and they jump right into football.
Yeah.
Like we just had a guy this last year, Gable Steveson, signed a deal with the Bills.
people. Nice.
Olympic champ, 3-time NCAA champ, just a big,
Oh, wow.
strong kid, athletic, can do a backflip,
Oh, wow.
fast,
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
and
Yep.
knows nothing. I don't even think he played football.
Don't even matter
at all.
Don't matter.
But they were like, "Hey, we want you on our team."
Yep.
Heavyweights are just different nowadays too
Yeah.
than when we were kids. You know, heavyweights back when we were kids, you know, it was like sumo wrestling.
Yeah, they were fat, and
You know,
sloppy.
right.
Now they
These
add
motherfuckers
up
can
and
move.
everything.
Yeah, like they
you
got-
said backflips and stuff. Like
Yeah, they got dudes that are playing like they got this dude named he was a world champion. His name, I don't know if I'm saying his last name right, but it's like Cuter or something like that.
Ben Cuter.
Ben Cuter.
Okay.
He's a world champ.
Yeah.
Went to Iowa and he's wrestling for Iowa
Yeah.
and then playing football for them.
Oh wow, that's dope.
Yeah.
What do you play, like D line or something?
I think he's linebacker.
He's got to be like,
Linebacker?
he's got to
I
be
think he's
like a
linebacker.
linebacker.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
a big
Like that.
dude too,
Yeah.
like 2 something.
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying.
He actually just
Right.
committed to wrestling full time though.
Oh, did he?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Had to make. I mean, you win 2 world titles. You got to make a.
Yeah,
choice.
but that's dope though. But that's also going back what we just said.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, that's another example.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like show him slamming someone, then show him on the football field.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you think he got that?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, we're gonna close this out, Mike. We're gonna get you out of here. We're gonna close this out with. We went a little dark, right, on what pisses you off. We're gonna lighten this thing up. Well, what do you love, Val? Tell me what you love, buddy.
Oh man, you know what I love? I just love being able to do what I do. I love wrestling. I love coaching. I love not working a 9 to 5. I love, I had so many people tell me forever, just kind of like, when I first asked Mike, how many people told him that you can't do this for a living. I used to tell people all the time, I'm gonna find a way.
Yeah.
I didn't get a college degree just for a piece of paper for someone to tell me that I can or can't do something.
Yep.
All right.
Here we are.
Yep.
I love being able to be a part of the gym. I love coaching. I love being a part of the kids' lives. I love, not only that, but bringing my own family into this.
Yep.
Just kind of, letting them know, like, hey, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to coach.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Love it. Love it. Alex, what do you love, buddy?
Yeah, that was kind of emotional. Mine's just
What's your?
Yeah, I had to
you
go.
got some lighting for me?
Listen, I went dark and I had to. I'm here.
I had to go way up there.
I went up and down.
What do you got, Alex?
I ain't feeling. I'm gonna be real with you. I love not being ashy right now. Like I'm I'm over here looking nice and moist. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, it's not.
We're laughing now, but when he get that Vaseline lotion sponsorship,
Just stay away from the baby oil.
no oils, no.
Oh God, please.
No Diddy, no
This
Diddy.
episode is brought to you by
No Diddy.
Vaseline lotion.
Man, I love it,
bro? What about
Stay
you?
dry in
What do you
Las
love?
Vegas.
What do you love? What do you love, bro?
Man, I love that. It's hopefully about to cool down here in Vegas, but it don't seem like it. But I love it. I love that the thought of it
Right.
hopefully cooling down is
Right.
I keep wanting the same thing.
Yeah, it just stays in hundreds.
Yeah. All right, Mike. Tell the people what you love right now. Let's hear it.
Impact.
Impact.
I love impacting people, whether it's youth, whether it's us in this room, whatever it is, just the ability to be able to impact.
Yeah.
It's just a great feeling to go home at the end of the day saying, man, I hope I impacted someone.
Yeah.
And knowing that you did.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
That's awesome, bro.
Impact is what I love. That's why we're here.
Man, I never met you before, Mike, but you already impacted me, boy. I'm ready
Bam.
to go.
There we go.
You know what
See
I'm saying?
that?
I'm ready to
Yeah,
go.
man. I appreciate. We appreciate you coming down, Mike.
bro.
Man, I appreciate you guys, man.
Man.
Love what you got going here, man. So continued success, man, and growth. And as always, man, anything you guys need from me, any ideas, brainstorm. You know what I mean? I'm easy. You know what I mean? Usually you give me lunch, you pretty much get everything I got.
My guy.
You know what I mean? But yeah, seriously though, all good, man. Love what you guys are doing. So
I appreciate
Let's
it.
get Mike some food one of
keep
these
working.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Hey guys, well that comes in. That's the end of our shoot your shot. Your shoot your shot. If you guys want to go ahead and subscribe, follow us on Instagram, tag us, comment who you want next, write us some suggestions. We'll talk to you guys later. Peace.
Doses. Nice.